This is a pretty sophisticated joke, so you may not get it. So, there's this nurse Margaret, and the fact that she's a nurse isn't really relevant here, but that's what she is, so why leave it out? She lives in Nebraska, which also isn't all that relevant, except that it can be hard to find a good man when you live in Nebraska. And this probably also isn't particularly relevant, but Margaret has 17 younger sisters. Yes, 17. Julia, Heather, Kristen, Helene, Alexandria, Isabella, Mia, Charlotte, Harper, Evelyn, Abigail, Alice, Amara, Chloe, Eloise, Grace, and Hazel. She came from a big family there in Nebraska. But she was the oldest, of course, and having recently graduated from nursing school there in Nebraska, she began, as young women sometimes do, to think about the less fair sex. You know. And in particular, Margaret, having been from such a large family, was eager to get started in the process of making her own family. She was, as they say, hoping for a baby. What's more, her parents were pretty eager to have one as well, given that Margaret was the oldest and thus the likely first one to have a kid. So after surveying the dating pool a bit, she landed upon Tom. Now, Tom was a farmer, as men in Nebraska often are, and he was very vigorous in that certain department that would be critical to the one particular goal of Margaret's that we have of late discussed. But sadly, Tom was, how do I put this, shooting blanks. As a result, Margaret sadly had to put him to the side, as she could not marry a man who couldn't give her a family. Back into the dating pool she went, and soon landed upon another stout man from the plains, who by chance was also named Tom. Sadly, however, this Tom could not even achieve the merits of the first Tom, as the rocket, you might say, could not even stand up on the launch pad. So back into the dating pool she went, swearing never to date another Tom. However, as she was sitting in a bar with her 17 sisters, lamenting not only her failure to have a child, but also, for that matter, the fact that none of them had succeeded in that department, a man walked in with a rippling chest, massive shoulders, and a full head of hair. He noticed Margaret right away and walked up to her. Soon they were talking, and he asked her out. First, though, she asked his name. Unfortunately, it was Tom. Nonetheless, after much discussion with her 17 sisters, she went out with him. Soon enough, it was confirmed that he was capable in the department that was so important to Margaret, they married, and 9 months later Margaret had a happy, bouncing baby boy, which only goes to show you that the third Tom's the charm. I hope you enjoyed that joke, though I realize it was a bit challenging. After all, it had a lot of new aunts,